discipline. Selfish.
No joke. We're legitimate.
Let's fucking do this. Then do it. Do it 100%, because I'm trying to.
We recognize that we are limitless.
You gotta be a champion to become a champion, right? Winning is a habit because we create habits that lead to good execution and success. And welcome to episode 40 of The Coaches Show. I'm Mike Bianca, coach of the New Orleans Hurricanes, with my co-host and friend, Ryan Gray, coach of AC Diesel. I'm very excited for this one. Tonight's guest is Vincent Lemeltier. You have to say that way too, by the way. You have to pronounce it with an accent. Head coach of the European pro team Scalp. Scalp has put the European NXL Pro League on notice with 2 back-to-back wins. They won the first event in Portugal in pretty dominant fashion with an incredible finals match against the Tauntauns, and followed that performance up with another display of tactical and strategic discipline, beating Breakout Spa in the finals at the British Invitational. Now, the European season only has 3 events, with the European Championships just around the corner in France. Can Scalp pull off the hat trick? Well, we're going to talk to Vincent, and we're going to see what he has to say about all of that and more. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Maxed Sportswear. For all your custom paintball goods, get Maxed. New Coaches Show apparel coming soon. We might even give you a flash of some of that we're going to have over in France. And BKI, the best knowledge in paintball. New content's being added regularly, and you don't want to miss the additions Ryan and I are making to the coaches section. So links to sign up for the upcoming coaches clinics are live on PB Leagues and in the description of the show. So speaking of BKI and Max Sportswear and the Coaches Show, Ryan, is there anything we want to show some people?
Yeah, so really quick, before I bring up the shirt, I want to talk really quick about BKI. I'm almost finished the second part of the play development tracker that we put up in the resources. I probably have that done in the next week. It'll take them about a week to get it up. But nonetheless, there's a play development tracker in there. And also it's what I use for the tournaments. And I've kind of given you some ways that you can use it for each division. So I've done kind of a Division 3 and down, and then a Division 2 and up on some things that you might use it for. But again, I want you to make it your own. I kind of talk about this a lot in the videos. I want to make it your own. So if you change it, you make it better, you got to send it back to me, right? Because I'm giving it to you for free. So give it back to me. Give it back to me. Yeah. So the Coaches Show shirts, we're going to do a new shirt for Paris and a very similar to this shirt for the Chicago clinic. Those will have a few extra available in Paris. If you'd like to buy one, you can just find Mike and I will bring them to the event. Yeah. So here's what that looks like.
Now,
I want to tell them what it says.
Well, yeah. You want to translate it? Do you want to because that's French. I don't read French.
It says to coach is to take a player where he could not take himself.
That's right. I love it.
Yeah. So
I absolutely love it.
This is the shirt that we will have in Paris. Again, everybody who has signed up for the coaches clinic and gets signed up really quickly, literally in the next 3 to 5 days, you're going to get a shirt. And then we'll have a few extra to sell, probably 10. So if you want one, you need to send us a message or find us at the event. If we have any left, we'll happily sell you one. I think that's it for that. Yeah. So on the coaches clinic thing too, again, I've got a lot of questions about Dreux and the start time. The start time is fluid. We're going to start as soon as the award ceremony is over for Nations Cup. We'll jump right over. I'll send everybody an email a couple of days before, let you guys know where the clinic is going to be taking place. We'll immediately head over to the clinic. Again, Mike and I understand too that there'll be some language barrier things. So we know that this 2-hour clinic is probably going to be more like 2.5 to 3 hours. We're not rushing it. We want you to get all the information you want from it related to the topics we're going to discuss, which again is going to be a little bit about team culture, and then we'll get into how the New Orleans Hurricanes and AC Diesel prep for events. The systems we're going to show you guys have been developed over years and years and years and years, and changed. And these are our findings. And again, we want you to take it, make it better, make it your own, implement what you can. The things that you don't want, just shag those to the side and don't use them. And that's okay.
That's right. It's like Bruce Lee says, absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and make it uniquely your own.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple things before we bring our guest in here. I say this a lot about my experiences in Europe last year. I was blessed to be able to watch this team play several of the events. They had Malloy was playing with them. I didn't really know who the team was. I just knew that they were playing really well. Walked over and watched them play a game in the Netherlands. And they looked like a pro team playing in semi-pro a lot of times. I think they had a few stumbles in semi-pro, but really for the most part were just as dominant as they are this year in the pro division. And really exciting, obviously, if you're telling stories like we are here on this show, is I don't know that I've ever seen a team come out of semi-pro, is certainly not in the current iteration of X-Ball that we're in, and come into the pro division and be so not only impactful, but dominant.
Dominant.
Yeah.
That's a great word.
From our conversations that we had kind of before the show with Vincent, it's clear why. It's clear, right? The message is clear. The attitude is right. The focus, he's got that things, the things I kind of mentioned in the Mike show last week. He understands process, people, and purpose, right? He's got it. So really excited to jump into all these things with him. So let's get him in here. Good evening.
Hey guys. Hi guys. You good?
Doing very
wonderful,
good,
man. So excited to have you on. Appreciate you taking time. So this will show on Tuesday night. For those who don't know, we're doing this on Saturday because it's 10:35 in the morning here, and it is 17:35 or 5:35 in the evening for Vince. So thank you for taking your time away. He's also on vacation and taking time out to do this. So we really appreciate your grace, and we're excited to have you.
Thanks a lot for your invitation, guys. It's a pleasure and an honor to be there.
Yeah, so let's kind of jump right in. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your story, maybe some groups that you've played with, and then sort of how you got into coaching.
Okay, so I discovered paintball when I was 13. Start play when I was 16, because in France at this time you were not allowed to play before 16 years old. And I play in different group, most of the time as a captain of the team, until playing semi-pro. And after that, unfortunately, I broke my legs during an event, and now I cannot play anymore. So that's the way I come to the pits to coach.
You broke your legs, and that's how you came to coach.
Yeah.
There's a story behind that, Vincent, and I told you in the green room I was going to ask you about it.
You want to hear it again? You want to hear it
yes,
again?
Yes, I do.
They haven't heard it.
So I was in charge of a rental field that was receiving a French league, and I had to climb to at the nets under 6 meters. Yeah, on the ladder, and the piece of metal of the ladder was shrimp like that, and I climbed very fast, put my knee in this, and I broke my meniscus. So after surgery, I cannot recover enough to play anymore, because
6 meters, by the way, for you Americans, is about 20 feet.
Yeah. And it's too much frustrating when your body don't allow you to do what your head want to do. So that's why I go to the pits now.
So we used our brain. We decided, okay, if the body's not going to work, we're going to use our brain. I got you.
Yeah, meniscus is broken, but not the brain.
Totally. So how did that translate to you ending up with Scalp?
Okay, so I built a team when I was managing this rental field. The owner of the field say to me, okay, I got two teams and not enough player for the second one, so I give you a wild card. Make what you want with this team. I say, okay, ready. So I call back some friends of me that for sure didn't want to jump in, because say, oh, okay, no, I'm a dad now. Okay, I want to fish. I want to make some fishing, some sailing, and I want to become a pirate or something like that. And say, okay, hey, bro, it's just 1 week of practicing and event, 5 times in the year. I say, okay, let's go like that. And we make a French championship title in Division 2. So to be honest, it's an hold up. It's really an hold up, because we practice only five times during the year, and we won the French championship. So at this moment, we won the spot in first division, but I was in trouble with the owner of the field, and so we separate. And at this moment, the captain of the Scalp comes to me, who is a very, very good friend. We start paintball together. And he say, hey, bro, I need some help. I just have 4 players, and I need to put back a Scalp in the right place. So can you help me? I say, hey, guy, it's the perfect timing, because I quit the other team. So let's go like that. So we start with only 4 players for the first season, and we built something. Was okay, not good, not bad, but was so like that. And after two seasons like that, we make a second spot in the first division, because our second team in Division 2 didn't won the championship, but goes into the final. And every year, the two in the final in Division 2 goes in first division, and the two last in first division goes back in second division. Yeah. So now we play and we work with 2 teams in first division. That honestly was my goal, because I want to have a sort of laboratory to put the young players and give them some experience. And after maybe 1 or 2 seasons, maybe this or this player gonna be okay to go to Scalp. And after 2 seasons like that, I call the owner. I say, hey guy, I got a fucking big project. I need you to follow me into this project. And he say, okay, you get 10 seconds to convince me. And I say, okay, I want to see again flag in the NXL with Scalp on the flags. He say, okay, now you got 10 minutes. Explain me more.
I love it.
And after that, I was searching for like a pro insurance for new roster. So I call Lionel Parra, who was famous French player, who is the French team coach, and he play in the south of France, and there is a rivalry between north of France and south of France. And I call him and say, please, I need you for my project. He say, are you crazy? Are you really crazy? You want me to play for a team from Paris? Are you serious? And I say, yeah, I'm really serious. You have to listen to me. So I convince him to come to Paris, and we start like that with only 5 players. And time after time, I had one guy, and after that I had one guy, because I didn't want to make the mistake of just taking people around the field and try to improve them. I really built the team like a professional team. Say, okay, I want him at this place, and okay, he's far away off the field. Okay, he's old. I don't care about all that. I want this behavior, this personality, and I want this one to play with this one. Okay, he lives in Belgium. Okay, don't worry about that. We're gonna manage something. And with this guy, okay, this guy play for another team. Okay, we have to wait and etc. This is the process. We improve the team month after month.
So what year was it that you came to Scalp?
Sorry.
In what year did you start with Scalp?
It's maybe 2018.
Okay.
I took it 1 year before COVID.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just half a season before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So we got two big season to work and to improve the skills, the core of the team. And when competition started again after COVID, we were not good. To be honest, we were not good. We were mid ranking in French Premier Division. It was hard. It was tough, to be honest, because French Premier Division is a very tough league with a good team. Not always, not just Tontons, but we have Carnage, we have Outrage, who play in Pro Division in NXL, and a lot of young team that grow a lot, like Toulouse Purple, like Joba team, who is a team for a long time. Uh, all those teams are good, so it's difficult to perform every round of the French Premier Division. And at this moment, that's why to be honest, I take my balls in my hand and say, okay, I have to call Malloy. So I asked Lionel to call him first, because they know each other, and Lionel say to him, explain him the project, and Malloy say, okay, I gonna do it, but it's for you, Lionel. I gonna do it, but it's for you. And that's the way we start the European season in semi-pro last year.
Yeah. So just to kind of clean all that up. So you were a young player who captained the majority of the teams that you played with. And I'm just trying to paint a picture here from a leadership perspective of how you got to where you are, and probably what has helped to manifest some of the success that you've had as a coach. So you started out captaining these teams that you played with. You got to a place where you were playing semi-pro. You have a kind of a career-ending injury. You decide, okay, I'm gonna start coaching. You coach a couple of young groups, or one kind of young group that you sort of had to rebuild, it sounds like, a couple of times. And then you take on the scout project. You guys play for 2 years in the French league, right?
Yep.
And then you bring on Malloy, and now we're set up to talk about semi-pro. Yeah,
Exactly. Because we wanted to play pro, and we were supposed to have a spot in Pro Division, but 2 months before the start of the season, they say, sorry guys, but there is no spot for you. Say, hey, well, okay, so no spot for us. What's the only solution? We have to earn it, guys. So now go back to the work and play semi, and now we have to play semi. So we start the season, and I think in March, I post on Facebook. I say, okay, that's our goal. That's exactly what we want to do. So listen to me. We're gonna be semi-pro champion. I said that in March.
So as you were kind of coming up and you're working with these different groups, you're at the same time learning, right? So you're learning about personalities and teams. How do you, like, what is your goal when you're starting with a group and now you're into a fantastic group? What was your goal, and what does it look like now from what do you want your culture to look like?
I think, okay, for my project with Scalp, that's exactly what I explained to the owner. I say, I want to put back the sport at the core of the project, because I saw so much players that want to become an athlete, or pretend that they are an athlete, but don't do the thing necessary to be a real athlete. So my players have to practice physical activity during the weeks, and we have a special channel on our group communication, when players post every physical activity they did during the week. It's important for me to have players that are involved into the project and that respect each other. For example, the first respect is coming. Don't be late at the practice, because if you are late, the group is late. So
Yep.
the group always goes at the speed of the slowest guy of the group. So I need respect. I need guys who understand why they come to the field, because if you want to enjoy, if you just want to have a party, you don't need me, and you don't need to play in competition. Go in the woods.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a lot of fun for sure. But if you come here, you have to work. It's not for pleasure, it's for work. Okay, we are at work. The joy comes on the podium, and after that we're gonna go to a fucking good party. But during practicing, you are at work, guys. You are at work. Don't spend times. Don't go smoke cigarette. Don't go there. Don't. No. If you want to be professional, if you want to be on the top of the world, do the things you have to do.
Yeah.
I love this perspective so much, Vincent, because what I love about this is, besides the fact that you've set a goal, hey, we're going to be these champions, and we recognize what it's going to require in order to meet this goal. And what I really love is how you underlined it all with, we have to respect each other, and we respect each other by being our best selves at practice. So I respect my teammate by bringing my best self to practice each and every time. That is such a refreshing, not that it's, I mean, it should be standard for every professional athlete, especially in paintball. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. And I love to hear that you stated, when we were talking in the green room, the more I listen to you talk and the more Ryan and I hear you talk about this culture and process you've built, it's obvious why Scalp is doing as well as they are. I love this. This is great. Please continue.
And that starts before the practice. I ask my guys, say, okay, guys, 2 weeks before each event, please take care of sleeping times, take care of nutrition. Okay, I think you can live without McDonald's during 2 weeks. Okay, guys, I think you can live without beer during two weeks. Okay, guys. So, okay, maybe just 1 week, Mike. Okay, just 1 week.
All right.
Yeah, okay. But you understand what I mean? Yeah, you have
Yes.
to put. We talk about it before the show. It's just about the small details. The small details. As I say, in professional league, every players are good. They run fast. They shoot straight. They got the good stuff. They got the good paint. So they got the good coach. So what can be the difference? Small details, and we have to put it by our side before the event.
That's right. The events are won at practice. It's won in your preparation. And I love that perspective. That's always been kind of Ryan and I have had several conversations about that's where the events won. The events won. And I love also the fact that you say, yeah, you know what? We'll have time for joy when we're on the podium, because winning is fun. And when we say that winning is fun, that's what we're talking about. The payoff is the podium. The payoff is the journey. What brought you to this journey? The journey is the work. And people need to recognize that, hey, we've got to work if we want to enjoy and have that joy of winning. So, excellent. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. I'm going to shut up now. Keep going.
But I love some of the perspective too that he's talking about. It doesn't contradict kind of what you're saying, Mike, but like one of the things that I've been telling some of the young teams I've been helping is like, hey, if you guys individually don't do the work when you're away from here before you get together, nothing matters that you're doing when you're together. It won't matter if you're not individual. So like the success and the process begins before you even get to practice. The success that you're going to experience starts like immediately as you begin to train before you get to practice, those individual accountability things that Vincent's talking about, eat right, drink plenty of water, stay away from beer, stay away from McDonald's, like take care of yourself individually so that when you get here and we begin our work together, it matters. It has purpose, right? Without the individuals, and we talk about that too. The coaches we can only guide players in the form in which they provide us, right? We can only mold the clay in the form in which it is. So if you show up and you're hungover, or you show up and you haven't run, or you show up and you've eaten like shit for 2 weeks, you're probably not going to have a good practice, and you're going to set us all back, right? You're pulling the group back because now we have to work on some things that you probably should have done away, right? And as a coach, we talked about this too. Like you have to be comfortable as a coach saying, hey, you obviously haven't been doing the things away from here. I need you to step aside so the guys that have don't get pulled down. We can continue to move forward. When you're ready and you've done the work, you can come back. But for now, I need you to step aside, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Correct.
Love that.
I always say paintball is an individual sport that is played collectively.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I kind of want to piggyback on what everyone's saying here, especially since we're on the coaches show, we'll tie this into coaching. To me, and I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure it was a professional football coach. Maybe it was Landry. I don't remember. But he said that coaching is simplicity. That's what a coach does. We have to keep it simple. We make it simple. And ultimately, if the player themselves, right, the coach is to get that player to play better than they think they can. But it has to start with the individual. The individual
I think it's
has
Brendan
to
Short.
it.
I think it's Brendan Short.
Oh, it was Brandon Short. Well, he stole it.
Brandon
From
did say that on our
Tom
show.
Landry.
He definitely
He
said
did.
it.
He did.
Yep.
He did. But ultimately, that's what it is, right? We've got to get them to play better than they believe they can. And that starts, they have to believe in themselves. And that starts by them putting in the work, setting the goal for themselves individually, and then building towards that goal. All right. Okay. This is good. Let's keep it rolling. I love it.
So
go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I was just gonna, so we've talked about the group culture. We've talked about a lot of different things. Let's focus. Let's turn in a little bit here, to Scalp, because your group won 2 of 3 events last year in semi-pro.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd set that goal and you met it and you went and got it. So here we are now in the professional division. We've reached that next goal, which was to get to the pro division. You get there, and all of a sudden you show up and you win the first 2 events. Did you anticipate that? What was the mentality coming into your first year? Were you managing expectations with the team? What was that? What was all that going into the first year?
Okay. To be honest, we were sure that we could be a real actor of pro division, not just a spectator or just a point distributor or something like that. But to be honest, we didn't expect these 2 wins so early. I was convinced that we could do that maybe in 1 season or 2 seasons after acclimate to the pro division, because the step is big between semi and pro division. Mm-hmm. So we honestly, the objective was to be Sunday club. This is the only objective I had. The owner gave me that objective. Please give me some Sunday club and it's gonna be cool. So in Portugal, when I call him and say, hey boss, we are in quarter, he said, okay, that's better. Hey boss, we are in semi. Oh, that's great. Hey boss, we're in final. It's incredible. Hey boss, we beat Tontons. He said, okay, great, let's go. Let's go. So I said to him, hey, now it's time for bonuses, okay? For players. Yeah. They deserve it. The players, to be honest, since more than 1 season, the players make so many sacrifices. they spend so many hours on the field, far away from families, daughter, wives, um, family events, etc., etc. And I think now we are just, I don't know the expression in English, but we are just uh, harvest the fruits of the work. It's just
No,
harvesting
that's
now.
that's actually, yeah,
That's
no,
it.
that's
That's
perfect. And
perfect.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly, that's
Great.
perfect. And I love
Yeah.
the fact that you said that. Once again, this is a great example of, hey, if you put in the work, you will be rewarded. It's, if we're going to take the time away from family and friends and all this, and we're going to spend this time and energy and money to do this sport, then why not give it 150% when you're there doing it? So hats off to the culture that you've built, and hats off to those guys. That leads me into my next question. So you've won the first two events now, but it sounds like your guys are not getting the complacent. They're not, hey, we still have to work. There's still a
Oh yeah,
lot
for
of
sure.
work to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If they don't think that, you can count on me to say that to them.
Yeah.
I love
Yes,
it.
that's
So
my job to
since
to remind them that, because as always, I always say that during games, say, okay, guys, we are winning 3-0, and you know good that if we win 3-0 now, it's because we put all the good ingredients during the three first points. So if you start to don't put maybe salt or paper, or not paper, or maybe chili or something like that, the recipe is gonna won't be the same for sure. So if you want the fourth point, please continue to put all the good ingredients. And this is exactly the same with the global vision and the global situation of the club. Say, okay, if we are here, it's because we work a lot and we put all these efforts. For sure, we got some very good sponsors that give us a lot of money. So a lot of people in France and in Europe say, okay, they have the money, and that's all. So they have the money, so they win. I think it's a little bit harder, and they don't saw the massive work done by the owner, me, the players, Pete, Pete's crew. We got demoniac Pete crew, uh, all the team. Every part of the team is important. So it's a structure, it's a family, and I'm proud to have built this tribe.
you're literally sitting with two coaches right now who provide examples for the fact that you have money or not does not dictate success. I have a team with a really nice budget that is really struggling. Mike has a team with basically no budget that is performing pretty well, right? It
Exactly.
is the work. The money,
It is.
does it make it easier? You betcha. Does it create
For sure.
opportunities that a team that doesn't have money may have? You bet you. But the work is still the most important thing. The process, the accountability of the players, the culture of the group. You can have, I mean, I don't think Mark would mind me saying this. Mark Johnson last year goes out, buys a bunch of players to try to build a super team, and very quickly realized it doesn't matter. My culture is not right when I brought these guys in. Now we're in disarray. We're literally we're falling less, or we're placing lower than we did before I bought these guys in. Right? It's just so does the money make it easier? You bet. Can you play a little more? You bet. But the culture, the work, the again, the player individual respect for one another and the process and the coach, that's what makes a winning organization. It doesn't matter how much
Correct.
money you have or don't have. You can still have the right culture to be successful.
Correct.
Right.
It,
It's
it,
it's
it
cooking
would
with the
be
right
easy.
ingredients.
Totally.
Yeah, it would be easier if you just have to put a big bag of money on the table and you're gonna win the tournament. It's gonna be easier for sure, but
Easier.
no, it's not true. First of all, first season we heard, okay, they won because they got the money. And now in Pro Division, we won because we got Malloy. And after that, what? See ya in World Cup without Malloy, guys.
Yeah.
See, that's the attitude. That's the right attitude. Although I would not argue if Vincent, you know somebody who wants to put a pile of money on a table in front of the Hurricanes, please make that introduction. I'd be very, very pleased to meet him.
Thanks. You can count on me 100%.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So
let's talk about
yes, we start to have Malloy, and to be honest, the improvement we had was the biggest improvement was not on the field. It was out of the field, because at this moment we certainly need to, like an electroshock or something like that, to say, hey guys, okay, you are good, you want to become better and better and better, but you have to put the ingredients, and you have to be more rigorous. You are too much Latins. That's exactly what Malloy say first. You are too much Latins, guys. You have to focus. You have to focus. You have to focus and focus again. And what he brings to the team is he's so much demanding about himself, about ourselves, about everybody. Every point you lose for him is an opportunity for the opponent to win the event, and one less chance for him to win the tournament. He hates so much to lose any points, any players. Sometimes you win the game, okay, 5-0, and it's a mercy, and everybody is happy in the pit, and comes back from the field, say, hey, stop laughing, stop, stay focused. It was not good. This point was not good. This point was good. And he understands everything on the field. It could be the head in the snake, and when he goes out of the field, say, okay, in the Dorito side, this happened. I say, how can you know that, bro? Because you don't see that, you don't hear that. He say, I feel that. Okay, it's another level. For sure, it's another level. But it brings us to be rigorous, more focused, and more smart. Just being more smart.
I love it.
Yeah.
That was actually a good segue, Ryan. Do you feel into talking about Arturo and Malloy, and now heading, again, it's not I feel it's a foregone conclusion, but I want to respect your thoughts on this. But should Scalp, and when Scalp rather takes one of those top 3 spots in Europe, coming to America to compete at the World Cup, you won't have these. And I love what you said earlier. When we come there and we don't have Malloy and we don't have Arturo, you'll see. And I love that attitude. Because it sounds like the ingredients are there, and that Malloy and Arturo were just a portion, may have been one of the stoves that you were cooking on. You see, I mean, using more cooking analogy, maybe I'm overdoing it.
It depends. It depends of the event. To be honest, in Portugal, for example, in Pro this year, Malloy was an alien. He was
a monster.
He was an evil guy. To be honest, he did things only him can do that. So
Totally.
So that's normal. He impressed everybody. But I just want to remind everybody that if he's able to do that work in the snake, it's because 4 other French Scalp players do a really, really great job on the other part of the field. They hold Dorito side every time. We dominate the center every time too, and so that's why Malloy have plenty of air to express himself, and that's the game plan. That's the game plan.
We broke that game down, and that's one of the things that Mike and I both talked about.
Yeah, I remember.
Is it that. Like Malloy played? He did play on another level. I mean, he was just unbelievably
He was insane.
good.
He was insane.
Yeah, the entire event. I mean, doing things that only Malloy can do. You said it exactly right. Malloy did things that only he is capable of. The traps he would set for the guy in front of him, the way he manipulated even Axel a few times was incredibly impressive. But what we also noticed is your other guys created enough tempo and offense in different places that the team, especially the Tauntauns, and you guys shot better off the break than they did, but they couldn't just focus on Malloy. They had to deal with multiple monsters, right? Multiple guys coming at them.
I think it's difficult to say that, but I think it's a little bit of disrespect for the other Scalp players, and say, okay, we just have to hold Malloy and we're gonna win. It's a little bit harder than that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think your other players kind of proved, hey, if you just want to worry about Malloy, no problem. Great.
Yeah.
We're coming. Like, you're gonna have to deal with me too. You know, your guy who played on the Dorito side a few times, you know, the focus did go to Malloy, and he went all the way to the other team's side of the field very quickly on a field that had multiple gaps. Exactly. You guys did a great job shutting down the center of the field where that Dorito side would open up. I watch all of the games. I'm kind of a nerd that way. Like, I watch all the matches. And from what I remember, especially on the first event, is you guys did a great job shutting down the middle of the field. You would put a player there and not allow them to match him. Exactly. So if the other team had nobody in the middle of the field, that Dorito side was open until you got almost to the other team's side of the field. If the guy wasn't in the tower shooting across or sitting in Snake 1 shooting across, you could go from that Dorito 3 to the Dorito 4 quickly. And your guy did it a couple of times because teams would focus their attention on Malloy. Your player who played in the middle of the field, I thought, did a great job creating chaos. Like,
after that, even if it's not Malloy, if you hear Snake 6, what are you doing?
Yeah,
right.
Maybe you're gonna cross
going the other way.
Okay, the players who manage the center at this level is called Fourage. Is number 94. He was player for Carnage for a long time, and he was picked up by ML King maybe 5 years ago, something like that. But same of me, he's got an incident of skiing, and just maybe 3 weeks before the start of the American season, so they switched, and I think they took Greg Montalvo at this time to replace Fourage. The other side, we got Geiger, we got Dreux who play Atlantic City, Las Vegas, etc. With Vendetta. We got players from Belgium. Thiago is a fucking good guy. He has issues because he don't have a lot of playtime this year, and it's difficult for him because he's a good guy. He makes all the efforts, but it's difficult to earn game time when you are in Scalp team. These guys in other French teams gonna be Major 5 for sure, 100% for sure. But when you play in Scalp team, it's difficult to earn some times because there is only monsters in the roster. You know, there is 5 or 6 players of the French team. Lionel is an old player, but he brings us so much experience in the pit. He's a leader for sure since maybe 25 years. So he can lead the man so great. So okay, maybe he's not the best player of the world, but I need him so much in the pit. Sometimes he's like that, you know. It just okay. Everything goes good like that. Why I need to change?
Threats and vets.
He's a great
Maddie
teammate.
talks about it all the time. Yeah.
Maddie
talks about it all the time. Threats and vets, right? You got to have guys who play roles that sometimes aren't on the field. You need you need that guy in the pit who's calm and
even for Malloy, I think you can ask him, but I think it's quite cool to play with Sushi Pizon backside. Now when you have Alexandre Pizon. Oh yeah.
Pizon and
Pizon play for Tauntauns. He plays for Russian too. He's,
I remember.
he's a great player and very smart, very smart, with a demoniac snapshot. So
Yeah, him
it's-
and
when you-
Geiger are
when-
the two guys I've kind of seen the most over the last few years and watched them a little bit. And they're both playing
because they play with Carnage, and
Yeah.
Carnage is a real great team, great
Oh, yes.
team. We are from the same field. Scalp is practicing on the same field, so they are very good, very good friend of us. And just one take just 1 minute to say have a dedication to Maxime Gorecki, who passed away a few weeks ago. And
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah, I
think
saw
at
that.
you.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Sorry, I broke them
well.
the feelings. I broke the vibes, but I just want to have a dedication to him. He was a very good friend of me, so we're gonna miss you, Max.
I think it's important.
As you always
It is
say, life is a party. So now let's go to the party.
Yeah, it's important.
It is important,
So
100%.
we talked a little bit about kind of the dominance and those kind of things. And Mike asked a little bit of an open-ended question around like, how are you keeping your group focused for Paris? I want to dig into Paris a little bit. So going in, are you going in with the expectation, just so, and I'm sure you know this, since the American teams have stopped coming over to Europe, since that rule change occurred, there's not been another team that's won the NXL Europe title that isn't named Tauntaun, right? The last 3 years, it's been Tauntaun every single year. And I have another French team to be able to come in and do it, not only in the fashion that you've done it, winning semi-pro last year in a pretty dominant fashion, and then coming in the first two events this year and winning in pretty dominant fashion as well. Now you had a few close games at the UK event, but still pretty dominant, right? How do you?
In UK it was difficult because okay, the practice prior the event, we choose to don't contact any guys, foreign guys to play with us. But at the end of the practice, say, okay, guys, we are struggling in the snake to attack in the snake, so we really need a guy who can afraid the opponents in the snake. Okay, and we make a meeting at McDonald's and took Paintball League and took the list of the team and say, okay, here, no, it's not okay. Here, okay, put him on the list. And maybe 2 hours later, we got a deal with Arturo, who is awesome guy.
Yeah.
We manage everything in 2 days, and he makes a long journey from Guadalajara to Madrid. He arrived late, so he missed the connection to Paris. The company lost his luggage, so he arrived in UK without his stuff. And we missed the practice Wednesday, so we didn't have plenty of times to make the habits between the players, etc. So I think during UK we became better point after point after point after point.
I would agree.
Yes,
I would agree.
100%.
Your performance got more crisp as the event went on, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. But again, going back to kind of what I was saying, you won the first two events in pretty dominant fashion. Obviously, the goal is to put yourself in the top three. Also, if you can, to win the series and then come over and play at World Cup.
Exactly.
What has changed? What, if anything, about your preparation has changed? So are you doing anything different between event 3 or event 2 and event 3 because maybe the pressure has ramped up a little bit, or is the process the same?
Okay. The process will be the same. The only thing that has changed is I give them 3 weeks of freedom. I say, okay, guys, have a good time. Have a good time now. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, have the party now, because in 3 weeks, I need you 100% concentrate on the events. So if you want to have the good time, it's you have three weeks to do it. But in 3 weeks, you're mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because enjoy these 3 weeks, because in 3 weeks your ass is mine. So trust me,
For sure.
I understand that.
For sure.
Uh-oh,
You know,
Coach said a bad word.
during the 2 or 3 first season, the process was practicing 3 Sundays prior to each event. But I changed it last season because I want to save more time with family. So I said to guys, okay, we're gonna just practice 2 weeks prior each event, but we're gonna practice Saturday and Sunday each time.
Yeah.
So 3 Sundays or 2 weekends. I prefer 2 weekends because there is 4 days of practicing, not 3 days, and you save 1 weekend, a full weekend with family. So for the players, I think it's better. And to me, I got players south of France, Belgium, east of France. So when they come, it's better for them to come for 2 days than just for some few hours of practicing.
For sure.
And
So
I won't change anything. Okay, the habits for us is to practice with breakouts because they are friends, more than friends. They are our brother, our Belgian brother for sure. But we cannot because all the players are invited to a wedding the weekend prior the event, and I don't want to practice against breakout costs. I just I think they don't gonna drink only water. So and I say to them, enjoy, guy, enjoy a lot, please.
sure. Yeah.
Yes, make some excess, please. So we just changed sparring partner for this time, and we're gonna practice with FSU
Cool.
Notorious. Okay.
Good.
and Dynamite.
Yeah, love that team. Love Dynamite.
Yes.
FSU too, but
Yeah,
love
exactly,
Dynamite. I love that
exactly.
young group.
Yeah, young Norwegian players. They are good for sure.
So I played with their coach, Stien.
Yep.
It's fine. I played with him in Europe back in 2004 on Menace. Their coach.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Small world.
I was in the Netherlands
Small world.
preparing FSU last year, and I heard this voice behind me. And I was like, man, I know this. I know this voice. And
It comes from the back center. No, it's come from the back center.
No, he was coaching, right? But I hear his
Okay.
voice, and I was like, man, I know that voice. So I turn around, and sure enough, it was him, and gave him a big hug, and we kind of caught up a little bit. And he introduced me to his son and told me about the young group. He was that was the U19 team that stuck together and is now what's the name of the team? What's the name of the team?
Dynamite, Ronald
Dynamite, right? Is now Dynamite, and tell me what they're doing. And last year had an season, and this year playing great. They're in 5th place, doing well.
Oh yeah,
They're exciting to watch. I love that young team.
yeah.
So, yeah,
they give us some issues in the. I think it was the semi-final in Portugal.
Yeah.
Or quarterfinal. I think quarterfinal maybe. I cannot remember.
Fun
We'll
team.
find out.
So you talked a little bit earlier about like the individual expectation before they get to practice. So what is that? So what is that expectation? Are they expected to do a couple of workouts a week, once a week? Like you also mentioned you have a place where you kind of document, where the guys send you, hey, here's my training for the week. And then how do you follow up with that? Like, what does that look like for you?
To be honest, there is no obligation.
Okay.
But I see what I see. So
Sure. Yeah.
That it's not an obligation. I think if you want to be a pro player, you have to do it by yourself. You need to be excited by the way to prepare and to be in the best condition when you arrive on the practice or on the event. So I got some eyes, so I got some eyes, I got some ears. So when you arrive, I know what you did during last 2 weeks, and I know what you did, and I already know what you didn't do. So
Yeah.
don't ask yourself why I'm not in the major line. Really? You ready? You asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like
You
as we
should
were
be
talking
asking the
in
guy in
green
the
room.
mirror.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's just them with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking in the green room. You mentioned something. You mentioned several things, but one of the really key things you talked about was like the right before you go into the match, you want to connect with each one of your guys. Like, talk a little bit about some of the same things that you said in the green room, and what you do to make sure that they're kind of connected before you start that first match.
Okay. Uh, as I said in the green room before the show, I always been attracted by US sports with a lot of data, etc., like MLB or NHL, NBA, etc. So when we come to Orlando last year for the World Cup, I bring the team to an NBA match between Orlando and Dallas because I want to show them the way every players is motivated by the other players. So, when a guy have a free throw to make, he shoot the ball, and he don't wait to see if the ball is in or out. They go forward, have a high five with the two guys in front, and backside with the two guys, have an high five with the two guys. I say to the players, look at that. Look at that. That's exactly the mentality I want you to have during practicing, during uh, every game, every point of every game of every tournament. This is exactly the way I want you to. This is the behavior I want you to have. It's just about confidence. It's just about friendship. It's just about, okay, guys, we don't care about the last point. We won, we lose, we don't care. It's just, come on, guys, one more time,
Yeah.
just one more time, guys, all together, all together. And I think it's part of the success for us.
Yeah. And then when you guys get into your huddle, what are you looking for?
I don't like when the players come back from the field and keep the mask on the face. I say, yeah, I stay focused like that, coach. Please get out, because I want to see your eyes. Because your mouth can lie, but not your eyes, for sure.
Yeah.
And Ryan said exactly the same. Say, oh no, it's Mike. Say, okay, me too. I take off my sunglasses because I want to connect to the player. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. We did that before the match, and sometimes during the game, sometimes between 2 points of the opponent. Say, okay, come back here, guys. Look at the eyes of each other, because we're gonna do it with the guys in front of you, not with your feet, not with your ground, not with the ground. So
Yeah.
don't look at the ground. Heads up, guys. Heads up, and look in the eyes of each other. It's important.
What did you say? You said, I'm not playing paintball with the ground. I'm playing paintball with you. So we should connect. And I love how you talked about how the eyes don't lie, right? And we want to have that intent, not just that intent, but that intensity. And I think, Ryan, you made an excellent point. You talked about, I want my guys to know my angst, right? I want them to be a part of it. I want to draw them into it. And I think all three of us were saying very much the same things about having good eye contact before an event and understanding, being in that moment. It's all about being in that moment and realizing, hey, we're here and we better be here, right? As a team together. I love it. It's great stuff. My goodness.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's where I was trying to get Vince to go. I was like, talk about the ground.
I know. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and take that one, because he also
Yeah.
said something else that I'm stealing, Vincent. I'm going to steal this from you. And I'm saying this to everybody on the coaches. So when you hear Coach Bianca say it, it came from Vincent. And that is, I I love this so much. Emotion to motion. That could you tell the viewers a little bit about what you mean by that? Because I know what you mean, but I want to make sure they know what you mean.
Okay, it's because for me, the real job of coaching is must be done before the event. When you arrive at the event, the coaching is already done. After that, it's just managing humans. And it's just finding the good words and the good way to express to each players, because every human is different, So with this one, you have to speak directly, and with this one, you have to be maybe more more kind, and maybe put some glitter paper around the words you want to give him. And I love this aspect of the not the coaching, but the managing the humans. And I don't want okay, I love the way that some people don't know where are their own limits. And I say to my players, are you on your own limits? And they say no. They say, okay, do you know where are your own limits? No. Okay, so reach it, please. Reach it.
Right.
You got margin. You got a lot of margin. So please hit this margin and reach the limit. Because me, I don't know where is your limit. So maybe we can reach it together.
You know what's fascinating to me? Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. I was just going to make one real quick comment. What's fascinating to me is that you actually came out and say, I love the managing the personalities aspect. And would you believe that I feel that there are a lot of coaches out there. I don't know about the professional division, but I've seen it in the lower divisions where that's the part they dislike the most. And I tell them often, you better learn to love it, because that's really where the hard work, where the work pays off, is understanding how to draw that out of a player, how to get that player to be on the same page with everyone else. It's so important. And the fact that you love it, and I love it, I'm pretty sure Ryan loves it. Sorry, Ryan, there we go. Is, that's such a key component. And we talk about this during our coaches clinics, actually. So fantastic that you said that.
I think it's deeper than that. You have, if you want to be a good coach, I think you have to being interested to the life of your player. Yes. Okay, what happened in their lives? Are they okay with the girlfriends? Are they okay with the work? Is there issues in the family, or there is maybe problem with the dog or something like that? And everything, every aspect of the life can affect the players. So I think you have to have a deep know of every player and their life.
And ladies and gentlemen, I think we now know. Yes. And I was just going to say, and now we know why I think Scalp is seeing such success. Summed up right there.
And we talk about that all the time, right? We on this show, we talk about that you have to be invested in their lives. Like if somebody shows up to practice who's had a bad week and you don't know, and you correct that player in an intense way that normally would be okay, you may have destroyed them for the rest of the practice because you didn't know that they had a rough week. You didn't know that, their girlfriend broke up with them or their dog is having issues, whatever the case may be. Like the investment that we have to make in understanding where our players are is critical, right? And like I'm so blessed, Cody Mikowski on my team, he calls everybody every week, right? And then he'll kind of reach out to me and let me know, hey, so-and-so is dealing with this, you may want to reach out, and I talk to the guys probably, most of them I talk to at least every other week. There's one or two that it's a little bit more challenging to connect with just because of their jobs. But Cody will reach out to me and say, hey, coach, here's what's going on with Clint, right? Here's what's going on with Mouse. You may want to reach out and make sure he's okay or see if he needs anything. Not that those two players have anything going on. I'm just using them as examples, but we preach that on this show. We preach it in our clinics. We talk about, especially at practice, right? Understand where your players are. If you don't know where they are emotionally, you may be the cancer that causes your team to have an inefficient practice because you don't know what's going on with some of your guys. Right. And it's critical. It's critical.
Let me flip this.
That's something I didn't want to say on the show because I didn't want my players to know it, but that's why on every practice I took maybe just 1 or 2 minutes with each guy. Just it's a normal conversation, but okay, how you are, how was the week? You okay with madam? Madam is okay, everything, and say maybe 1 minute, just 2 minutes, just to feel the mood of the players, and sometimes you can feel some lack of investment because part of the spirit of the player is not really here. A little part of the spirit, the concentration is not here, and sometimes just few words, few exchange, and you can bring this part here and have the guy 100% and say to him, okay, give me 100% during 2 hours, and after that give 100% to the other project. But please, if you are here, be 100%. I deserve it and the other player deserve it.
Let me flip the script on both of you, since this is the coaches show and we have several coaches watching this. What if coach has had a bad week, or coach isn't right with the misses, or something's wrong with coach's dog? My question.
I tell them.
Oh, excuse me. So you do. So you share that with the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. And
for sure.
I'm curious.
I'm like
you want to
player,
flesh that out?
Because they will not understand why this week for this mistake I shout, or okay, I never shout, but I'm a little bit more angry than the habits. I say, okay, why, coach? Why are you speaking like that with me? Where is your confidence with me? If I don't explain before the practice, okay, guys, my week was bullshit. Okay, I got issues with this, and I got the plumber who's have to come, and don't come, and I don't have a warm water in the shower. Okay, they could understand in what mood I am.
Okay, Ryan,
and sorry.
No, don't apologize. I wanted to get Ryan's take on it, because then I'll share
mine. No, I don't share. I grew up, in a weird time where men didn't share things like that, and I'm working on it, but like I don't share things like that. I am the guy who tells the lie every time. When people ask me how I am, even when I'm not good, I say I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. Yeah. Right. Like I am, and I'm working on it, but it's not, I'm not good at asking and receiving help. Sometimes I'm not good at being able to be vulnerable. I'm working on it, right? But like I tell the lie every time. I just say, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm good. But I shouldn't. I should.
I know a player, a famous player who almost always the time say it's okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
It's funny. I'm actually in a space that's kind of between the two of you. Like Ryan, I was that guy that tells I'm fine. I'm the rock. Nothing affects me. And of course, and we call it, right? We like you just called it, Ryan. It's a lie. I tell the lie. I'm not always 100%. I'm not always the rock, right?
Yeah.
And I have been working on that as well. Something I've been trying to do this season is let my guys know, hey, the reason why coach just dropped a curse word and pointed his finger in your face and let you have it is, because, if Coach Bianca is doing that, what's going on, right? So I'm trying to do that, right? I'm starting to, like you, Ryan, I'm trying to recognize, hey, I probably should let these guys in on some stuff and let them know, right? Because what I do is I'll say, hey, guys, it's been kind of a bad week. I'm going to need your help this practice. That's kind of what I try to get them vested in and recognize, just like I'm trying to help them be the best players. I need them to help me be the best coach. And so that's something I'm trying to work on. So it was cool to see Vincent say that, because I recognize that. But Ryan, at the same time, I'm in your shoes. I'm that same thing. I'm trying to recognize that, hey, maybe I need to change that aspect. So
yeah, awesome. I don't say that like a disrespect for Ryan. You
oh no,
no way.
No,
But,
none
No,
take.
it's not taken that way. Mm-mm.
I understand the way you do. Like, okay, I want to my players feel like I'm always like a rock, and I'm solid. I'm massive and solid. But
Mhm.
I'm a human
Yeah.
as my players.
Yeah.
Okay, and I ask them to be 100% honest with me every time. Every time.
Yeah.
There is too much player who say, "Are you okay? You can go back on the field." Yeah, coach. But what? They are injured,
Mhm.
but they don't want to lose their place, and they don't want maybe to the coach say, "Okay, you don't give us 100% or something like that." No,
Mhm.
be honest. Be honest, guys. Honestly
Yeah.
is part of the family, no?
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not a tough man contest, right? We all know we're
So
men.
I
right?
think this is two different ways of being with the players, and the two ways can be understood for sure.
No, I think your way is
Yes, it is.
right. Mine's wrong.
That's
I think
what we're trying to
what you're
tell you,
saying is
Vincent.
correct. Like, I don't. We talk about that in our clinic too. Like, one of the things we talk about right off the bat is we open with having good, open, honest conversations
Honest.
with your players, right? And
Yeah.
and we talk about it in a way of feedback, right? Like, if I want an honest performance, I've got to give honest feedback. But I think what we're talking about now is really in the same realm, though we're talking about it from a different perspective. It really is in the same realm. If I expect my players, when I call them, to say, "Hey, how are you?" and I want an honest answer, when they ask me how I am, I need to give an honest answer too, right?
Well,
But
correct.
it's just been, it's been one of those things where, and I love the fact that I haven't gotten to the place yet where I'm done learning. I'm still learning how to live in a little more vulnerable space. And I do, to be clear, I have people in my life I'm very vulnerable with, right? My wife,
Bingo. Yeah.
I have a couple of, Mike is one of these. I have a couple of really close friends that I'll tell everything to, that know way too much about me probably. I've got the three guys, right? They always talk about, you need three people in your life. You need the person you can tell everything to that you know is never going to tell another soul. You need the person that you can cry on their shoulder, and you need the person that's going to help you bury a body. I got those. I got all those guys, right? One of them is a girl.
Is Mike the shoulder or the friend for the bury?
Mike
I'm
is
probably-
two of those, actually. I think if I
I
needed
was
to
gonna
bury
say.
a body, Mike would help me.
Okay.
And if I tell Mike something, I feel confident he would never tell a soul. Right?
100%.
So he's
Okay.
two of those, and maybe
Okay.
even the second one too. From time to time, I've called Mike in some very vulnerable. We talked about this a little bit last week with Mike Hinman.
Yeah.
After that first event, and Diesel's performance was so dismal, I had to do a lot of soul searching, right? Like, golly, what is happening? What's going on? Like, have I lost my touch? Are we not preparing correctly? You go through the laundry list of stuff, right? Like, oh my gosh, what has happened here? And I love that we're talking about this or on this show with you about so much preparation, because what it all derived to was preparation. Our preparation wasn't good. I didn't make all of my guys participate in a meaningful way in the preparation as far as the game plan and structure. And I didn't ask enough questions. And there were a lot of things that occurred in that preparation process that wasn't good. But afterward, thank God, my wife and I had a vacation planned after that to Northwest United States. And we had a cabin in the woods where my cell phone didn't work. And that was awesome, right? Because I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I needed some self-reflection. I needed to kind of wallow a little bit. And I did. I wallowed, but I called Mike and I was like, man, I'm really struggling with this. And he had done the same thing with me after World Cup. We'd kind of had conversations that were very vulnerable, but you kind of have to pick, right? As soon as that's over and you're done, it's like, okay, now I either got to pick my ass up and get to work, or I quit, right? That's it. And I'm not a quitter. So, but I don't, like, with my guys, I don't share enough of what's going on in my life. I need to be better about that. I need to be more vulnerable with them, where they understand sometimes coach has had a rough week, right? It doesn't happen very often. I don't have kids in my house anymore. They're adults. They're grown. They're off doing other things. So what's that?
I got one.
Yeah. So like, but I don't have kids in my house anymore. My wife and I've been married for 27 years. Like our big fights, they're over. We've had them already. Like
Yeah.
when we have fights now, they're
Now
not
it's
really
only the
fights.
pleasure. Now it's only the pleasure to meet them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Right. So now it's my life's pretty simple, to be honest, and at this point in my life. And so there's not a lot of chaos, but there are times with my business and other things where things aren't good, right? They're not good.
Yeah.
And I don't share that. I should, but I don't.
Yeah. For example, to be at the first time that Malloy played with us, I had a lot of discussion with my players because I didn't recognize them on the field. The presence of Malloy in the pit was just like sclerosing the other player. They were so afraid to make a mistake with Malloy in the pits, because you can trust me, when you make mistakes in the pits with Malloy in the pits, you understand very quick that you make a mistake. Very quick. It don't take time. It don't take time. And they were afraid of that. And we got a very honest discussion all together. I say, okay, guys, what's the problem? Explain to me. Yeah, me too. I'm impressed. I'm impressed to Malloy. Okay, I am impressed, and I'm afraid to make some mistakes, and that's why I coach less good than when Malloy is not there, and that's why you play less good than when Malloy is not there. So what we can do now? Maybe we can speak about it and pass through this obstacle, or what? I can say to Malloy to stay with the Russian, and we stop the project. So we have a very, very honest discussion, and that's the base of the trust we have all together. It's that everybody knows that if someone say A, it's because there is A in his head. He don't say hey if it's B in his head or if it's C in his head. If it's A, everybody knows it's A.
Yeah.
And that's more easier to build the confidence in these vibes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, man. Well, is there anything you want to say before we drop you back in the green room and close this show out?
Yeah, I just want to have a little talk about George McLean, who play with Scalp in UK when we play semi-pro, with a great pro player with a soldier behavior, and who's very, very, very good. I want to thank I cannot remember this name. Damn. Sorry, you're gonna
Cody
cut
Woodruff.
You're gonna cut this one for sure.
Cody Woodruff.
Yeah, Cody Woodruff.
Yeah,
Exactly. Thanks a lot. Sorry, Woody. sorry. Please apologize to me. I want to thank Cody for all the things he brings with him when we comes in Europe. Grayson, who is a good guy. All the aftermath crew who welcoming me to the Atlantic City, and makes me feel like a real part of the crew since the first second to the end of the event, and who gave me the opportunity to feel these vibes in the pro pit. It was awesome.
Love it.
That's awesome. Sponsors?
Love it.
Yeah,
Any
sponsors. 21 in January with the firm of the owner, with the massive sponsor, Banker King, and for sure DLX. I think a lot of people say, wow, are they really winning with Shockers? Yes, mister. This is Shockers. Armazis, who has Virtue, and for sure I will miss one who will call me and say, you don't say my name during the show, and it's okay. I'm gonna manage that.
You got a paint sponsor?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks a lot. Ooh, Dave's gonna break my brain. Prosha, we got yeah. Now we are Prosha team.
There you go.
Yeah, we. Thanks a
There it
lot.
is.
Yeah.
I think you've covered it. Good job, Ryan.
Thanks
I
a
was just
lot.
trying to. I'm
Thanks a
going through the
lot,
list,
Ryan.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You deserve a beer at Dreux for sure.
I don't
This
drink,
one.
so
Oh, no, no, he
It
doesn't.
could be.
I don't
No,
drink.
he doesn't.
It could be a San Pellegrino. It's okay.
Yeah, I drink
Sure.
water and coffee and protein shakes and
That's what you say, but we don't sew into your bottles, bro.
I drink
Okay, this
hydrogen
one I'm
water.
okay.
Hydrogen water.
Hydrogen
Yeah,
water.
hydrogen water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
no,
good
I haven't
stuff.
drank. Hey, I'll give you a little vulnerability. I'm an alcoholic, and I haven't drank in like 5.5 years.
Whoa, you have the coin?
Great job.
I do.
Great.
Yep. Yep.
Great.
Excellent.
Congrats.
So
It's
yeah, I
it's so
don't.
difficult.
In fact, I just submitted an article for the next issue of Great American Paintball, kind of talking about that my sobriety journey a little bit. And it was a weird article to write because it is pretty vulnerable for me, and but I kind of went into it with the aspect of and the idea that if I can help one other person realize that there's another way, then it's worth writing. So
That is awesome.
Exactly. And to
I
be
can't
honest,
wait to read it.
I was struggling with some addiction problems when I was a player, and I think it's the most part of why I didn't pass the step to the pro player. So
totally.
my only advice to young players could be, hey guys, take care of your health, and if you want to become an athlete, have the good behavior and respect your body. Respect your body.
There it is. Great
Yeah, you just get
message.
the one.
Absolutely great message. Yeah. I can't wait to see you and meet you face to face and shake your hand in Dreux.
With pleasure,
So,
bro. With pleasure, man.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Are you
This is
coaching
gonna be
any of the
exciting.
French teams?
Yeah. It's funny because Lionel Parra is the coach of the French team, and I'm his assistant.
Cool. Yeah,
But in
Excellent.
Scalp, I'm the coach and he is my captain.
that's awesome.
So the
That is
roles
awesome.
I reversed. But to be honest, I learned so much with him. I learned so much. Maybe not the skills, but something that you cannot buy, experience.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And,
I learned a
and
bunch from this
feelings,
guy.
and feelings, and just say, sometimes he just put the hand of my shoulder, press a little bit, and I understand everything he wants to talk to me now. So we built a relation that is very strong. And to be honest, I didn't expect to have this kind of relation with this guy, because I play against him all of my career, and he's from the south, as I said, but now he's a friend, maybe more than a friend. So
Oh, that's great.
I will be all my life thankful to him, for sure.
Sounds like you and I, Ryan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's kind of the relationship Mike and I have built, and we're so blessed that we get to have this show and have coaches on and build relationships. And now I've got so many phone numbers in my phone of other coaches that I can just pick up the phone and call and bounce ideas off of. And having that kind of mentor-mentee friendship that works both ways, where sometimes I'm the mentee and sometimes I'm the mentor. It just depends on the situation and experience, right? And it's just it's a really
Sometimes
special
you're
thing.
the Jedi's, and sometimes you are the Padawan.
Totally. Yeah.
And
Totally.
it don't depend of the age of the experience. You can become a Padawan at every time.
That for sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm 47 years old. I still find myself being the Padawan regularly.
Same.
But I think that's special in the process, right? We're still learning as much as we can. Like, we talk about this so much, right? If you, at the point you feel like you know everything, is probably when it's time for you to retire. That's when
For sure. You have to ask yourself, when you lose, what goes wrong. But if you don't ask the same question when you win, the lose is coming for sure.
Yep.
And early that you think.
every time.
For sure.
Thank you
good
so much.
stuff.
Hang out in the green room. We'll talk a little bit when we're done, and then yeah, thank you so much. All right. Wow, what a fun episode.
Wow.
Man. He is a special
No.
guy.
He really is a special guy, and I'm so glad we're getting him on the show. I'm so glad that people are going to get to see this Vincent for who he is and what he's done and why he's doing it. You and I have been preaching these things for a long time. Lots of coaches have been doing it, but the more that it's repeated and seen, and you see that success, you see it brought into fruition, you bring it come to fruition. It's incredible. I'm really excited about it.
You know, he talked too about something. I was just having a conversation with another coach about the culture and the things that are happening in Europe are what was happening in America really 15 years ago, right? Where players are really committing themselves to the process of what's happening outside of practice, getting to practice, running a lot of drills, doing a lot of things to develop paintball skills and putting the sport first, right? Before it's about the team, it's an individual. And he mentioned this in the green room, and I don't think he said it on the show, but he said paintball is an individual game played together. And I love that, right? Because it's the individual responsibility that makes the together worthwhile, right? So there, I think you're gonna see, we've already kind of seen European paintball getting better and coming over to America and making a bit of a splash. I think that gap is only going to continue to close if they continue to have cultures like the one that Vincent is building, right?
Bingo.
Talked about that with Goran. You know, those guys like are really understanding, like, we've got to be a little bit sick about this. We've got to be more disciplined. We've got to be more process driven. And, you know, it's that old saying, right? You have to want the process as much as the prize. You have to want the process as much as the prize. And if you don't, you're probably never going to get the prize.
That's right. Consistency and good habits. So I love it. Great stuff. What a great show. Okay.
That was fun. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Coaches Show. Thank you to Vincent for joining us. Major League Paintball for all of the support of the show. Alex Sorensen, Kevin Fillers, and Tom Cole. If you want to elevate your game, get the best knowledge in paintball at bkipaintball.com. The show has been brought to you by Max Sportswear. When needed, get Max. I'm Ryan Gray with Mike Bianca. Be responsible and sign up for the clinics. Shirts are cool.